These SMEs, they create so many things,
Yeah.
but they don't know where to go for guidance. When you read that book, it opens your eyes about how to choose a brand name and how to protect it.
What have you put in the book that you think people should look out for?
The trademark cannot be registered without a law. The copyright cannot be protected without a law. The world is changing, it's transforming, and we are moving into knowledge economy.
Hello viewers, we are happy to come your way with yet another book. At AFRIGO Publishers, we are always proud whenever we see an author coming out to say, we have a manuscript, we have a new story to tell. And so we are yet again blessed to have Mr. James Wasula.
Yes, please.
Coming our way and to your way as the reader to be bringing us yet a new book on intellectual property. Intellectual property is one of those rare aspects of stories or matters that we know very well that they're important, but we do not give them the level of importance or attention that intellectual property deserves. And so we are happy that James comes out to say, I have got a book. And I think it is not even the first book for him to write. He is a writer, he's an expert in that area, but I'll let us into his journey, starting with how it begins and what he has done so far, before we delve deep into what it is that he is unveiling for us come April 30 this year.
Well, thank you very much, Frank. Yeah, it's a pleasure for me to be here and talking to the audience about intellectual property. Really, intellectual property is at my heart, and I have been an administrator of intellectual property for quite some time, and I got inspired to share the knowledge that I have with everybody else through writing.
Yes.
And I was quite excited when World Intellectual Property Organization commended my first book and said, the Director General said, it's the first of its kind to cover the whole intellectual property as a unit. Right. Most writers have been writing about patents, about trademarks, about copyright, but a comprehensive book covering the entire spectrum of intellectual property, the Director General was quite excited, and of course I was, and further inspired to write a second book, which we are about to launch.
Right. Now that's important to know that when we go into these offices, and Ghana, there's so much knowledge that we pick, and then go another level to share this knowledge. It makes a profound statement and even improves our societies. So about this intellectual property, give us the motivation that gets you now to say, let me put it down into a book and get someone out there to be challenged and for improvement.
You see, primarily the world is changing, it's transforming, and we are moving into knowledge economy.
Yes.
And when you're talking about knowledge economy, obviously you are talking about intellectual property, because intellectual property rights are born out of knowledge and information.
Right.
When you put these two together, you create something new or something original.
Right.
And these are protectable rights, so your ideas can quickly become assets. But then the challenge has been lack of knowledge and information about how these rights are registered and got, and how can we protect them, and what steps should we take before we divulge the innovation to the public. Because I remember way back in I think around 2000, wait a minute, 1986, we got the new government.
Yeah.
And I think around 1990 or thereabout, His Excellency the President told us he had invented a toothpaste.
Right. The president of Uganda.
The president of Uganda.
Yeah.
So once it became public knowledge, it was no longer patentable.
Yeah.
And we lost that patent because it was already public knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's clearly the disadvantage of lack of information and knowledge. Now, if His Excellency knew that I don't have to divulge the details of my invention or innovation, he would have kept it secret,
Yeah.
talk to an IP lawyer, get it patented, then tell us the story
When it's already secure.
when it's already secured. But once it gets to public domain, it's no longer patentable, however great it is.
Anyone can claim it.
It's already public knowledge. You know, information is always there. But when you combine information and knowledge, you create something new.
Right.
So the information is there in the public, and the knowledge is with you. All these are public goods. Now, what makes them private? What makes them private are the laws that countries make to protect these new creations. So when I put information that's already in the public domain with my knowledge and create something that has not been there in the public domain,
Yeah.
then I get an intellectual property asset. And that's where protection comes in. And that's why governments make laws to protect it as a private right
Right.
for a limited time. Yeah.
Okay. I hear you mention tailing of an asset. Is it comparable to a piece of land somewhere with one who has a title, or a car, someone has owned a car and has a logbook somewhere? How do they compare?
Yeah, sure.
The
They
assets that we know.
Yes, and we call them intangible assets because you just can't touch them. But otherwise, they are assets as much as the land, as much as the house, a building, a car, a phone. Intellectual property assets are similar. And the land title for your land is the trademark or is the patent in intellectual property or is copyright.
Yeah.
So once you get that asset registered, then it becomes an asset.
And no one can strain it and seek to come and do anything without your consent.
Without your consent. And the beauty of it, it puts off your competitors. They cannot do what you have invented without your permission.
Right.
And that permission always comes with some financial gain consideration.
Yes.
So during the term of protection, you are keeping your competitors out of competition in that regard. It's a beautiful thing.
Okay. What have you put in the book that you think these people should look out for to make better themselves and get to enjoy the gains in intellectual property?
This particular book
Just
is
in brief.
this particular book is about SMEs in the export business. So the focus is on what should you do and what should you not do when you are going into the export business. Things like trademarks, things like names, trade names, things like trade secrets, things like copyright. You have to know what it means in practical terms. You could have a name, a trademark, and you see trademarks and the brand go hand in hand, hand in glove. When you have built a brand for your product, if it's not registered, it may be protected as an unregistered trademark, but it's fragile. Okay. It's always better to protect it because when you register it with the IPO, the Intellectual Property Office of your country, once you register it, then it is protected. You have prima facie ownership of the trademark.
Yeah.
If you don't register it, then it has to be proved that it is commonly known by people in that trade, and proving that is a bit of it's possible, but it must be very popular. For example, if I'm just bringing it for illustration purposes, if I said Coca-Cola is my brand, almost everybody knows Coca-Cola.
The community around you will beat you before you get to court.
Because it is commonly known. Everybody knows it.
It can't be yours.
Yes.
Yeah.
So once that trademark or brand becomes as popular as that,
Yes.
then you may not register it. The community will defend you that we have known this brand or trademark over time, and it means this to the society, and we know it is associated with so and so. But that's a lengthy thing. The quickest way of doing it is go to the IPO, register it as your trademark, and now the challenge is it's territorial. Once it's registered in Uganda, it's protected in Uganda. In Kenya, it's not. In United Kingdom, it's not. So WIPO has an arrangement where you can register your trademark in those countries that you think you are going to do business in, so that you have an international protection in those jurisdictions.
And so we have all those details
in the book. Yes.
Wow. Okay. So we don't need to give them so much.
Oh.
I
understand. Yes.
But looking at most people pick ideas from case examples of either people who have utilized knowledge well, or those who have faltered and lessons the hard way. Are there some case examples in point that you can put across for people to get to appreciate the value of making sure that you are in charge of your IP and your IP matters are well arranged with your business vision?
Sure, yes. One of the key things that you learn from the book is how to choose a brand name. Because a brand name is an identifier, or a trademark is an identifier of your goods. So the name must not be of the product you are. For example, if you are dealing in oranges, you cannot have your trademark as orange, because you will exclude everybody else in the word orange. You can use orange, for example, in telecom, and you call your company Orange. There you can have protection. Now, generic words are also dangerous because they are descriptive of what you are doing, and therefore you may not have exclusivity over these generic words or terms. A case in point is we have a local company here, Cafe Javas, and it was registered as such. But then Cafe is descriptive and Javas is descriptive, and almost in the trade of restaurants, of dealing in coffee. So you can register it, but disclaiming exclusivity, so that anybody else can also have one of those words or rearrange those words and have them, because they are not your inventions. You did create the words. You cannot have monopoly over them in that area.
Right.
And the challenge came when another Javas from Nairobi, from Kenya, came here to register, and then the case went up at the Registrar General's office, and then there was an appeal in the court, High Court, and then the judgment, though it may have its flaws, I don't want to discuss the judgment, but what transpired was that Cafe Javas could not have the exclusivity of those words.
Right.
And Nairobi, is it Nairobi Javas or something like that, was also registered in Uganda. So you have, when you read that book, it opens your eyes about how to choose a brand name and how to protect it, and where to protect it. As I said, protection is territorial. It's very important that you see the countries that you are likely to go into and have it registered there as well.
So why do you think that people do not embrace this intellectual property? Yet, from what you've said so far, it's such an important thing to consider in business.
The biggest misconception is for people to think that it is a legalese issue. It's something to do with lawyers and the law. Whereas, in my opinion, and I've said it in all my papers I've presented at WIPO, actually lawyers have very little to do with the intellectual property, except giving it certainty. And that's very critical. When you have an asset that is not well perceived, well understood, you know, which has no certainty, then it won't have value. So the lawyers give IP the value, because they give it certainty. And
how do they do that?
By registering it.
Oh.
A trademark cannot be registered without a lawyer. A copyright cannot be protected without a lawyer. But in the process of creating it, the lawyer is nowhere. You just give them instructions. I've created this, register it. That's when they come in. But in the process of creating it, they're not there. Now, people misconstrued it and thought it was an issue for the lawyers, and they left it out. So somebody creates something, wants to improve on it, it doesn't know where to go. For example, I'll talk about music and film. These are basics of culture. So the lawyer has nothing to do with it in the creation. Instead of going to the Ministry of Gender, you are looking for a lawyer. Whereas gender, the culture department, would help you to create a story, a good story for your film. Now, because of that misconception, you go to a lawyer, and the lawyer has nothing to, he has no input for you in as far as the story you want to create is concerned, and you get frustrated, and you say, let me just create my film, and you write your script, screen script, and so on and so forth. Now, when it is out there, it doesn't represent your culture. It doesn't speak to your culture. One example again is the films that we have in Uganda, which are very good. The quality is very good, the storylines are good, but there are very key issues that are not guided. Families in all the films we have seen so far have big houses. Now, the family lives in that house. A girl, the daughter, brings his boyfriend in the house and they stay together. That's not Ugandan culture. You cannot bring your boyfriend to stay in your family home. It's impossible. Anywhere, any culture in Uganda, it's not possible.
But depending on the narrative, because it could be a broken family, the story could be about a family that has lost its grip.
Grip on what? You see, what makes films stand out? They tell a story of your culture. They tell a story of yourself. Now, can you take your girlfriend to your daddy's home and spend the night there?
Unless he's still
Now, that's the problem of not knowing where to go for assistance when you are writing a script.
So is this assistance available at the Ministry of Gender?
Of course it is.
Is a department for that?
Yes. But the challenge is knowledge, and the book is guiding you. We in the book, I made sure I guide you where to go for such consultations. Now, after writing your script, go to a lawyer. So that's where intellectual property has lagged behind. These SMEs, they create so many things, but they don't know where to go for guidance. Immediately they talk about intellectual property, they will go to a lawyer. And the lawyer is only good at protecting it, not making it. Yes. So you need to go to the right source to get guided. And after you have created your new asset, IPR, you go to a lawyer for protection. That gap has held us back, has caused us to misfire in many areas, and I hope the book will guide our people so that they know where to go during creation, and they know where to go after creation.
Right.
They only know where to go after creation. That's the lawyer. But the process of creating that story, they're not sure. And they don't think it is important. And that's why intellectual property has not been quite popular among people, because they say, those are for lawyers, which is not true.
As we conclude this talk, when rating is being done, the author gets also to learn new things. You move out to tell a story, but as you write, you get to realize that you're also teaching yourself. Are there some of the lessons that you would have picked in the course of this writing?
Absolutely.
Things that just burst a light into your mind or before you, and quite interesting for many to look out for.
Sure, yes. One of them is how to communicate. You may have the knowledge and information, but how do you put it across? How do you make it appealing to the reader? You know, it's a skill. It's not easy to find a school that will teach you, but when you write, you get feedback.
Yeah.
They will tell you, yes, this book is good, but you see, it should have been better if you communicated this way. When you identifying your audience when you're writing is also key. And I was lucky, privileged, because I presented many papers at international level before I started writing. So I got critics in the process. Your paper should have been presented this way, or you should have been, I got those tips a lot earlier before I wrote the first book. But even after writing the first book, I got information, feedback, that the book is good, but it would have been better if you did this. And actually we are thinking of doing a second edition of that first book.
Right.
Because a lot of new ideas have come in, mainly about talking to your audience, identifying your audience, and making it appeal to your audience. And then to get it, so that the communication is really effective.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the same goes for one who is beginning to think and create a thing. That you have to find people to sharpen your mind with, to sharpen up with, and make sure that whatever you're embarking on finds the right consumers and finds the right platforms. I don't know.
You are right, only that when you are at the stage of creating, you have to have a lot of confidentiality. If you trust somebody that you want to consult, you must sign a non-disclosure agreement. And make sure that you are talking to really...
Whatever piece of knowledge that you put across, you're sure it is
protected. And also be sure that he will not say we are co-authors of co-inventors.
Yeah.
Because if I give you my information and knowledge, and then an innovation is coming out of what I shared, I could claim that we are co-inventors.
And we share 50-50.
Whichever percentage you agree on.
So the NDA has to be clear.
Very clear.
That you're not any of these.
Exactly. So that the person gives you their information and knowledge, knowing that they're doing it for your good, and that's it. Or they tell you clearly, I'm going to give you knowledge, but I'm going to share in the product.
Right. Thank you very much, James.
Pleasure.
For this great book that's coming out. And to the viewers out there, this is a book for which I rally and call upon everyone, especially if you are an innovator, an entrepreneur, and any player in matters of development. I would want you to look out for this book. This is not just for the passionate readers. It is one that everyone should seek out to buy and read and apply the knowledge that is in this book, because it is very important, seeking to elevate us and onboard us onto the matters of the knowledge economy. I love that the knowledge economy is the way to go. We have so much that we have been dealing with physical, tangible stuff, but now we have this intellectual asset that we need to take charge of and benefit from what we have, or even create more. Our brain is so blessed with so much that can be done, but better if it is well protected. The launch of this book is coming your way on the 30th of April, and the details as they roll down on the scroll, we'll look out to see you and have your IPs registered. We will have USRB has already committed to have a registration clinic at the launch event, and this should be your moment to shine with your knowledge. God bless you.